We don't think there's a breakup. I think the biggest concern is just headline risk of this dragging on for a while. Ultimately, consumers have a choice, and the choice has been made by the consumers because the technology is so good. And so I think from a Google perspective, they've built great tools that consumers use to get to work, to find information, to run their businesses, and they've built a great platform. And it's up to them to create a safe platform that is fair to all. And it's unclear to me and for many others exactly what they did behind the scenes. We can't see behind the scenes. Certainly, this has taken a toll on the stock. The stock has been under duress, is now underperforming Amazon and Meta year to date. The stock was obviously much higher at $190 a share, and it's close to 150. So stock has taken this hit and is absorbing the uncertainty of what happens. But we don't think there's a big breakup. We don't think there's a big fine. We think there's history and precedents. In the case with Microsoft, right? It was a period where the stock effectively had a wall of worry, and there is a giant wall of worry for investors. And the sideshow that's going on in AI is fueling NVIDIA and Amazon and Microsoft and the rest of these names. And so there's no shortage of names for our investors to own. And I think they're saying, look, while this is going on,
Right.
it's going to be distraction, and we'll be invested in other places in the short term until we get better clarity. But I don't expect a big issue. And I think for long-term investors, they should be buying the stock on a pullback.
Even if we don't get a breakup or some kind of hefty penalty here, I think the market is definitely pricing in some kind of extra scrutiny on future M&A action or some kind of business model tweaks. Do you see those happening down the road? And that could actually have an impact on definitely target prices and valuations.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point. So they really can't do M&A. Nothing's really happened. I mean, the fact that Amazon got blocked to buy a robotic vacuum cleaner company, it tells you how hard the regulatory environment is. And so you don't see that. The majority of their cash is being used to go back into the buyback because they can't buy anything. To your point, it's hurt their multiple. To your point, they don't really give you any guidance. They don't give you any color. Of all the companies I've covered on Wall Street for 20 plus years, this company gives investors the least amount of forward-looking guidance and color. There was some hope with the new CFO coming in that there'd be a little more information about how to think about the future at Google. And I think most are saying, good luck. They've never given us anything before. But why can Meta, Microsoft, Amazon, the rest of the industry provide forward guidance, provide more information, yet Google decides to do nothing? And so I think it just goes back to your point, which is they're so tied up in all the legal and regulatory overhang that they're like, we're not going to give you anything. And because they don't give anything, it's like driving a car. Like, do you buy a car that you haven't driven? Do you buy a house you haven't visited? No, you don't. And so this is the challenge for investors. They feel like they can't get close to the story. They feel like they can't get involved with it. And it's a, hey, trust me story. And so that's what we're working on, and that is impairing the multiple right now.